Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so it's only been a couple days since Donald Trump was elected president, and already he's hitting us with a flurry of promises. And we're going to be going through a lot of it over the next couple of days, I can promise you that. But I'll tell you one thing, none of those videos are going to be as important as this one. This is possibly the biggest announcement Donald Trump has ever made in his entire political career. This video is going to be a little bit different because I really want to play this entire clip. And the way this clip was presented to me, I think, is the proper way that I should present it to you. It's a post from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. that popped up on my timeline, where he presented the clip with the caption that writes, "This earns @real Donald Trump a space on Mount Rushmore," just so you understand the significance. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple, just like dominoes, one by one. They'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law, and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and intelligence officials, there should be a 7-year cooling-off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD is allowed to take a job at a company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data. Fifth, the time has finally come for Congress to pass a digital Bill of Rights. This should include a right to digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content, not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, throttled, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted, no matter what name they use, they should have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal. In addition, all users over the age of 18 should have the right to opt out of content moderation and curation entirely and receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rotten system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
And now I'll tell you one thing, I have no doubt, 0% doubt in my body, in my soul, in my mind, that I've been fighting for the wrong side. This is the right side of history, folks. And of course, this is huge news. This matters more so than anything else the media is blah-blah-blahing about. Freedom of speech is the bedrock of the American Republic. It is the most fundamental right bestowed on American citizens. The ability to express opinions, share information, and question authority without fear of being silenced. This freedom is what allows us to have open debates, to criticize leaders, to hold institutions accountable. Without it, you start to slip into dangerous territory where only the approved narratives can be heard. And just think about what we've seen in recent years. We've seen an alarming trend by major corporations, those who hold near monopoly power on the flow of information in the public discussion. We've seen them selectively censoring lawful speech. They decide what opinions are allowed, who gets to speak and who gets silenced. And let's be absolutely clear, it's never been about removing illegal content. We're talking about the censoring of lawful speech, opinions the establishment simply disagrees with, a clear, dangerous overreach, and in my view, a clear denial of Americans' most important, most fundamental and sacred right. The First Amendment. It's number one for a reason. And it goes even beyond that. What's even more troubling, what ought to have the alarm bells ringing, red flags popping up, is the mounting evidence showing that shadowy figures in the US government have been colluding with tech giants to suppress certain stories and silence American citizens. Just think about it for a second. Your government, the one meant to protect your rights, is actively working with private corporations to suppress speech that they don't like. And they're doing it, of course, without any due process, without giving you a chance to defend yourself or challenge these decisions. This is a direct assault on your constitutional rights. And finally, somebody is stepping up for the American people. I don't know about you guys, but I'm noticing a trend with this guy. He just always seems to have the people's backs. And once again, he's stepping in and taking the fight head on. Trump is putting his foot down and standing up for the American people and defending the most sacred right that you have, the right to speak freely. I'll tell you one thing, especially considering the line of work that I've walked into here. If this man manages to pull this one off, then I'll sing it to the day I die, to the day they put me 6 feet under. I am mirroring the exact same sentiment as Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is here. That would absolutely earn President Donald J. Trump a cozy spot on Mount Rushmore. This guy's fighting for you every single single day, and yet they label him selfish and only out for himself. What an absolute legend. I'm sure every single person who voted for this man is probably experiencing the exact opposite of buyer's remorse. Let's call it voter euphoria. The stakes were so high in this election, and it looks like the right choice was made. I'll just leave it at that. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.